Hello and welcome to Module 2. I'm so happy you're still with us. So, welcome to Imaging Coaching. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, this is Zen. I said Zing the last time. It's Zen. Zen for high performers, the ultimate stress recovery blueprint. That's what this is all about. This is to help you to overcome stress anywhere, anytime, especially for your career and your job. So what I'm going to teach you in Module 2, in this module, is how to manage stress triggers at work. What we're going to be talking about is the different types of stress triggers that you could be encountering. A lot of the times we don't even know that we are triggered. Something just happens and all of a sudden we overreact or we have a reaction to whatever it is that triggered us, okay? So, welcome to today's module on managing stress triggers at work. Whether you're dealing with a tight deadline, demanding coworker, or constant distractions. We all know what that's about. We all experience moments of stress at work, in the workplace. Today, we're going to explore how to identify your stress triggers and, more importantly, how to manage them effectively. So let's just go ahead and dive. What are stress triggers? Stress triggers are situations, tasks, or interactions that set off a stress response in your body as well as in your mind. In the workplace, these triggers might include tight deadlines, conflict with coworkers, or feeling overwhelmed by your overload of work. The first step in managing these stress signals, which are actually triggers, is to recognize what specifically is causing your triggers. What is causing your stress to be? So let's look at some of the most common stress triggers at work. So we have tight deadlines. A looming deadline can trigger feelings of panic and overwhelmness. Have you ever been involved in an assignment that you might have at work and then you find out that you don't have that much time? The minute that you find out that your time is limited, then you end up panicking, and that's when a trigger happens. Then you also have unclear expectations. So I've been in a situation like this before. When I first start a job, if the training is on the job training and they give me someone who is not that great at teaching someone, I usually find myself a little stressed, sometimes a lot stressed, because I need to know exactly what it is that I need to be doing. I don't like to get a partial of information and then they just tell me, okay, go out and handle the rest. That doesn't work for me. I need to know exactly what I'm doing because I am a very efficient worker. I know that when I know my job, I do my job very well. But when I am uncertain about what it is that I'm supposed to do, I start panicking a little bit to where I'm like, I hope I don't mess up. But if I do mess up, I don't have the right ingredients that I need to make sure I do this right. So here's a little backstory. When I used to work at Hewlett Packard Computers, I remember my very first day. I almost quit on that day because when I got to the job, I was put with a person who did not want to train me at all. He didn't want to train nobody, matter of fact. But they put me with him, and he showed me one time to do something. And then he left me alone for the rest of the night. And he's like, okay, have at it. And I was thinking like, okay, well, I guess I'll just do what he showed me. And I started doing it. And then someone came up to me who was actually one of my bosses. I didn't know it though because we wore plain clothes like we got on right now. So like I have on right now. And I was wondering, okay, why is he talking to me this way? And he was like, you're not keeping up, you're moving too slow. And I'm thinking like, okay, well, I didn't know I had to speed up. I didn't know there was a time limit on this. I wasn't told. So I thought I just can take my time. And then eventually I just told him when the shift was almost over with, we was about to be ready to go home and wrap it up for the night. I said, look, I don't know if I can do this because I wasn't trained properly. The guy told me that this is what I do, and that was it. He didn't tell me it was a time limit on everything. If I would have known that, I would have sped up. I'm a very fast learner, and I'm also a very fast worker. So this just doesn't work for me. And what he did, thank God he was understanding. He said, okay, tomorrow when you come in, I got someone else I'm going to put you with, and I think that you would do well with this person. He put me with a different person, and that person taught me the way I was supposed to be taught, and I caught on very quickly. From that point, I caught on so fast to where I was 3 months into the job. They put other people with me so I could start training them. And one of the things I told myself when I was going to train every person that I trained, I would never allow what happened to me to happen to them. So I would teach them every single thing they need to know. That way they don't have no issues when they get on their own. That is one of the things that you have to be very cautious with. So if you find yourself with someone who is not training you well, go talk to your boss and ask if you can be replaced with another person who's more of your speed, okay? Then you also have conflict with colleagues. Now, this situation is an interpersonal situation, and it can escalate your stress levels very high. You go to work and you're dealing with a person that you don't like, or they don't like you, or let's say that they do like you but you're just not into them, and they keep trying you. Yes, that can become stressful. How do you handle a situation like that? Personally, I would talk to the person and I would let them know, hey, I am here to do my job. I want to get what I need to do done. So let us focus on that only while we're here at work. Then you have distractions. Now, a distraction can be anything. It can be from a phone call. It can be from, of course, your colleagues, someone coming up to you just to have conversation. And email piling up. So much email. The minute that you think you knocked half of the emails down, there's more coming in. That could be very stressful as well. And then you have work overload. When you have too much work on your plate, it will cause you to burn out. So let's identify your personal stress triggers. What you're going to need to do is pause this video for a few seconds. Before you pause it, let's finish this here. After I finish saying what I need to say, pause the video before you go to the next clip. What I need you to do is write it down. You're going to have to write down what situations or tasks tend to raise your stress levels. You know what they are. When it occurs, you feel it rising up. You feel a panic or a sense of uncomfortableness. You're feeling at ease. You're just not comfortable. You're not relaxed. It's tension. You start feeling a little tightness going on in your body. Your mind starts racing like, oh man, or you feel down or depressed. You're feeling a certain kind of way. What are those? Write it down, okay? Because what you want to do, you want to make sure that you write it in a notebook, or you could even put it on your phone. Recognizing these patterns is the first step towards managing your stress more effectively. That's why you're writing it down. You want to see it, okay? So go ahead and pause the video before we go to the next clip. I want to provide to you some strategies for managing your stress triggers. if you already written down your stress triggers that you have that's personal to you, it might not be any of these that I'm talking about, but you can still use some of these techniques, okay? So let's just say that you have an issue with some whatever that's going on. It's not mentioned, I haven't mentioned it, but that's okay though. Just use the techniques because it can help calm your nervous system down, all right? So let's just start off with a situation occurs. Someone walk up to you and they're like, hey, I got this stack of papers here. Bam, it just slams on your desk. We need it done by Wednesday, and today is Monday. And you're like, wait a minute, are we serious? I already have all this stack to do. I'm just down to the middle of it. There's no way I'm going to be able to do this by Wednesday. What do you do in a situation like that? Do you say, whatever, I'm not doing it? Or do you say, oh man, let me hurry up and try to get this done as fast as possible, and then your stress levels are constantly rising up? Well, what would I do? Good question. First off, I will use the breathing technique because that's a trigger. And sometimes when you just go in your trigger mode, you usually do things or say things that you didn't mean to do. And now you can't take it back. So it'd be best to just breathe. I'm going to teach you these breathing techniques in a different module, a different video, because we're going to practice these things. We're going to put it into real actions, but just a little cliff note on it, okay? Deep breathing is a powerful tool for managing immediate stress. Take a few moments to close your eyes. Inhale deeply for 4 counts. Hold for 4 counts. And exhale slowly for 4 counts. You're going to repeat this process 1 to 2 minutes, okay? I had a situation with a passenger yesterday morning on the plane, and she was having a panic attack. Now, as we know, we've been having a lot of situations dealing with plane crashes. And in the past few weeks, well, actually a week, it's been maybe 3 different plane crashes. One of them being American Airlines colliding with a military chopper. Well, that actual airline, I used to work on that plane. We no longer have a contract with America, but we did. So that hit home for me because some of those people I knew. I flown with them before, the ones who had passed away, the deceased. It hit home. But what I want to say to you is that I had this passenger. She started freaking out because of all the stuff that was going on. And she was like, hey, can I get off the plane right now? Well, we had just closed the door and pushed back from the gate. And I've already made my announcement. I was working first class. I already made my announcement and told her and everybody that this is your final chance to get off the aircraft if you do not wish to go to Houston with us. And they, didn't get off. Then I closed the door, the main cabin door. So that means that you're on here. And she started freaking out. Oh my God, my blood pressure is rising. Oh no, I can't. Oh, can I get off? And then I said, okay, this is what I do for my personal profession. I am a stress management life coach. I can coach you through this. First of all, do you really want to get off the plane? Or do you really want to end up in your destination where you're trying to go? She said, I want to go where I'm trying to go, but I just can't slow my heart rate down. I'm panicking. I said, I got you. Let's do this. So I taught her the breathing technique. And then I told her, keep your eyes on me. If I look like I'm calm, you can be calm. If I look like I'm panicking, then you got something to worry about. But I'll be sitting right in my jump seat looking at you. Just watch me, okay? Everybody is relaxed. You can relax. If you want to take a nap, you can take a nap. And she was like, so thank you. I said, what about your stomach? How did your stomach feel? Because I know nerves can make you nauseous. And she was like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I said, here's a sick bag. I got something for your nerves. So I went and got her a plain salsa water, warm. That's the best way to drink it because it calms the bubbles in your stomach, the acid, it mixed together. It just makes you feel better. And she was like, so thank you. She was so happy. After that, she fell asleep. She slept the rest of the flight until we was in gradual. I'm telling you, the breathing technique works, okay? So I will teach you the breathing technique at another time in a different video. Now, let's talk about prioritizing and taking breaks. What you want to do, you want to prioritize and break tasks into smaller steps. This is the best way to get things done. When something feels like an overload to you, like it's just too much to do, pay attention to what's important. What needs to be done right now? That's what you focus on. The very first thing that needs to be done should be the first thing you get done. Anything else less than that should be in a prioritized order, from greatest to kind of great to not so great to just not really great at all. That's how you do it, okay? So when facing with a big project or a tight deadline, break it into smaller steps, more manageable steps. You want to make sure you can manage this, okay? So focus on one task at a time, and then you want to celebrate your small wins. That makes you feel good, because when you're making progress, you can be like, yes, I got that done. Let me drink some tea. I'm good. Ha, ha, ha. You know, let's move on to the next one. Let's tackle this. You know, make it fun for yourself. Sometimes if you have another colleague that has the same situation you're doing, put up a little small bet. Say, look, you know what? If I beat you with getting my task done and I do it effectively and I do it correctly, you gonna treat me out for lunch. And if you beat me, I will treat you for lunch. That will kind of make the competition rise, but it also make the job fun and it doesn't feel like you're overwhelming yourself, okay? Then you want to set boundaries. Let's talk about setting boundaries with colleagues, because if you're distracted or if your workplace is conflicted with a bunch of noise, it could be very triggering. I'm kind of the person, like in the morning time when I wake up, I like quiet or very soft, mellow music playing. I don't like all that blah, 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 blah. It just does something to my nerves. I don't know where I get that from, but I have it. And I've noticed when I am riding in the van in the morning, it could be 4 o'clock in the morning, you guys, and some of my crew members are morning people, and they be loud, be talking, laughing. Sometimes the van driver will crank the music up high, and I'm like, oh my God, do they realize this is really bothering me? And I'm still trying to get that little nap in. I got about maybe a 10-minute ride to the airport. I just want to just get a little nap. If it's not a nap, it's a little meditation so I can be prepared for my day. Everyone is different. So what you have to do is learn how to talk to the people that you're with. You have to give them some type of understanding about yourself. What I do, I tell them, I'm not a morning person, you guys. I like quiet. I understand y'all are, but I'm gonna put my headphones on so that way y'all not disturbing me. But just be mindful that sometimes a little less is best. Just letting you know. And then they respect that. They're like, okay, I get it. And then there's some people who don't respect it and they still loud. But you have to understand that everyone is different. So politely be firm to let others know when you need to be uninterrupted, all right? Politely let them know, but be firm. You cannot be timid or scared because they won't take you seriously, all right? Now, let's talk about taking short breaks. You never want to burn yourself out. So sometimes the best way to manage stress is to step away from your desk. If you are at the desk, if you are like me, sometimes you have to step away from people. A lot of the times when I am landing, and we have a sit, and the sit is not that long. It might be about 40 minutes to an hour. I know most of the crew will sit in the front in first class. I will go to the back of the plane just so I can just gather my thoughts, okay? Get myself together. And then when I'm ready, then I go back to the front and then I, interact. I'm not being antisocial. This is just how I operate to keep my stress levels down, all right? So you might need to do something that can help you in your moments when you feel that you are being overwhelmed. Take some breaks throughout the day. Don't forget to stretch. You might need to go for a walk. Anything you can do to help you get your solitude as well as keep your sanity, that's what you want to do. But make sure it's healthy. And then last but not least, you want to communicate. Communicate effectively, all right? Know how to talk to people. I'm a pretty good reader of people. I can feel energy. So I can tell when someone is uptight. I can tell when someone is nervous. I can tell when someone is shy, and I definitely know those who are very social, because it is just obvious. But you got some people who don't know how to take criticism. They don't know how to take constructive correction. You just correcting them and they don't know how to handle it. Well, what you want to do is be clear. Okay? You want to clearly communicate, because clear communication is the key. If expectations are unclear, you gotta let them know, hey, I don't really understand what you're talking about, so can you clear this up? Or let's say they don't understand you. Then you have to know how to communicate on a level where they can understand you. So be very clear in what you say. Don't hesitate to clarify anything, all right? If you feel overwhelmed with your work, talk to your manager about your workload. And you want to also talk about any ways of delegating your task to someone else who can help you. Sometimes there are some people who might have less than you, and they might know exactly what you're doing. You might can pull them in to help you. Or let's say they don't know exactly what you're doing, but you got just a short window to kind of show them something simple to take off your hand. Then show them that little simple step. Hey, can you just do this here for me? This will help me so much. Hey, you never know. You never know how they may go. Managing stress triggers is an ongoing process, but by being aware of your triggers and applying the strategies that I just showed you, you can begin reducing your stress levels. Not only reducing them, remember to take one step at a time. And don't hesitate to reach out to anyone for support and help, because sometimes you just might not be able to do it all on your own. That's what you got me for. If you need some ongoing coaching, just go ahead, go to where it says programs, and you're going to go where it says plans, not programs, planned in the actual, I'm trying to get it out, on the website. You're already there. At the very top where you have all the bars and everything, you're going to click on where it says plans. Click on that, sign up for a free consultation. Matter of fact, the consultation in the stress management coaching is included in this package. With your package, you will be able to talk to me one-on-one, real time. You get me live, okay? We do Zoom, or if you're not comfortable with, looking at me in my face, then we can do by phone and just talk, okay? So go ahead and do that. But what you want to make sure you do is to breathe. The next video I'm going to show you is going to be a 5-minute breathing exercise, and it's going to help you to reset your focus, and you will be able to refocus, reset, relate, release all the tension that you have. That's when I'm going to show you how to do the breathing techniques, okay? And guess what? With the breathing techniques, You don't only have to do this when you're triggered. You can do it at any time, any day, wherever you are, at any moment.